Hello YouTube and welcome to our latest war recap video. This time we're up against a clan called Vengeance calls. Good war, some good attacks, not particularly close war. I think we outpaced them towards the end. If we have a look at what they did to our bases, they only got 1 against our Town Hall 11, got 2 against our Town Hall 10s, left a lot of stars on the board at Town Hall 9, struggled getting triples on our 9s, and that ended up being the difference in the score really. And Town Hall 8s and 7s tripled obviously. We got a triple on their top Town Hall 10, got another triple on another Town Hall 10, so nice attacking from our 10s and 11s, and all of the 9s were cleared and below, so that was a superb job off the back of our previous war against 3-Star Empire, and a superb job by our 9s in clearing so many of those. Let's check out the roster. Yours truly on 198%, which was heartbreakingly close, but just not quite. We'll skip over that not used attack there. No one saw that, Jenny. Call out to Andrew for a 6-star war, very nicely done. Thor, which was so close, 195%, particularly given that you're hitting up quite so high on that second attack, so unlucky there. Still a good, superb war. Faye with the triple and a triple again, so 6-star war to Faye and powered by Geek. Also to Smush, Mini Murray, and there's a few scouts, but some also nice hits at the bottom as well. So let's check out the attacks without too much ado. And here is Major coming in, and you know what he's going to bring. He's bringing, it's now a Max Queen. I'm sure it was only level 39 last time I looked. That's amazing. It just time seems to fly. Alrighty, uses the Queen Walk. It's coming in quite a bit of damage here, so he rather than drops her ability, uses a Rage spell. Either or works fine. Building a nice funnel on the other side for his bowlers. Comes in with the bowlers and the Warden's ability. Pops the Warden's ability, keeps all the bowlers safe. They come in, take out all of the core of the base. And the next thing you know, there's just some defences around the outside left to deal with, and he's still got his Queen on full health with her ability. He's got bowlers, Warden, you name it, just way too much for the base to cope with. And the next thing you know, it's the triple, so very nice attack, Major. And what better way is there to kick off a war recap video? Okay, coming up next, we've got yours truly with this base has been around for quite a long time. The trouble with a base that's been around for a long time is everyone's used to attacking it, and they've probably practiced their attacks on it a bit, and that's the case here. So just building a little bit of a funnel here, a couple of giants just to more or less distract things. Jump spell and a second jump spell. There's rages for the bowlers. The bowlers just do, there's only need for 1 free spell because for whatever reason this person had their infernos on single. So the rage just lets the bowlers tear through this base. The low level walls aren't posing too much of a threat either. There's the Queen on one side, there's a couple of bowlers on the other side, just doing a bit of cleanup. Those bowlers are slowly going to get picked off though, because there's no healers on them. All the healers have run onto the Queen, which is probably not a bad thing, but it did make for a bit of a slow raid. Thankfully the Queen runs back and takes out that one lone building, and then there's only a few defences left. The Queen still has her ability in hand. A couple of wall breakers here which didn't quite go according to plan. The idea was to break open that compartment so she wouldn't have to beat through a wall, but slight misplacement there. We'll fast forward this last little bit as she burns through the wall and takes out the last defense. So nice Town Hall 10 triple with the bowlers. Alrighty, moving right along, we've got Crusher coming in. We hit this base several times with Town Hall 9s. It was just a very awkward outside shape, and that was quite interesting to watch. Just had difficult it made doing a Queen walk and predicting where she would go, and that caused a couple of attacks to not quite go according to plan. But Crusher comes in here, says that's okay, we'll just use a couple of jumps and a heal for the Valks to get them through most of the base. Got a few wizards going around the outside on their own, which will take out a few things before going down, but the Valkyries are the real star of the show here. They've pretty much cored the base He's still got his king and queen. He's got bowlers up. And that's a nice combo with king with a few Valks and the bowler behind. He's got tons of troops left. He's got a max golem that hasn't even split. And the next thing you know, it's a triple. So a very nice attack by Crusher. Okay. Up next, Leono. Welcome to the clan. Leono warred in one of a clan that we warred with a little while ago and has popped over to say hello, so that's pretty cool. Always nice to have some guests in the clan. Coming in here, builds a lovely funnel. Valks straight into the core of the base thanks to that jump spell. They know exactly where they're going. They're going to go and take out the queen. He's got hogs coming in around the outer ring here, taking out defense after defense, just reinforcing those hogs with a heal spell. That's very nicely done indeed. Hogs under no real damage at all because the Valks have already taken out both the Expos. He's got heal spells for his hogs to keep them up, and he's got, I think, pretty much all of his hogs are still alive. He's got his Queen's ability, and the base is already done. There's no defenses left, so absolutely smashed it. He's got a couple of his Valks left. He's got troops everywhere, and the next thing you know, there's nothing left of this base. So that was a lovely hit. Very nicely done, Leonio. Or Lionio. Not quite sure how to say your name. Alrighty, Death Star coming in with his now patented attack of Queen Walk on one side, bowlers with healers on the other side, King with some Valks up the core in the middle, and hogs as needed, and it's a surprisingly effective attack. It's just so versatile because there's several different groups of attacks going on, several different attacks from several different places going on here. It's not a case of just dropping all of your troops all at once and hoping that they get the 3-star. Because of that, it's actually a very versatile attack. You can respond to what's going on. Nasty Tesla farm on the far side of the town hall there, which does take out his hogs. Queen's got stuck on the lava hound and she's had to deal with all the pups, but she does manage to get them down. Backtracks to take the last of the pups down, but there's that nasty Tesla farm that still needs dealing with, and unfortunately there's the air defense there, which is taking out the healers that are on the bowlers, but luckily the queen gets through first, which means the bowlers all run around, or most of them run around and join up with the queen. The queen is starting to go down here, and she does actually go down, but you'll notice that the bowlers don't. The reason for that is healers are only half as effective on heroes, so if you've got a couple of these bowlers are getting healed up twice as much as the queen was, so that's worth remembering as well. And a very nice attack by Death Star, gets the job done nicely. Okay, Uni coming in on their number 11, bringing a Queen Walk, which is always very nice. Gets the CC lure, kind of interesting place for your CC right on the corner. So she goes, that's fine, I will take out your CC with my queen, which is nicely done. A couple of wall breakers, Valks in with the king running through the core. The CC is already taken care of, so there's really only big bombs to worry about in terms of the Valkyries. They're doing a lovely job of burning through the walls on this base. These Lego walls used to be regarded as being pretty strong, but since the Valks got a bit of a boost, they don't seem to be posing too much of an obstacle. Nice Hog-Valk combination, as the Hogs kind of rush ahead of the Valks a little bit, taking out few more of these defenses just to make it a little bit easier for the Valks. There's only a couple of mortars left, and that last hog is going to sneak in and get the one remaining mortar down, and then it's just a little bit of cleanup. It's got Valkyries, Wizards, Queen, you name it. It's all there, and it's all targeting that one remaining building, and then it's the triple. So lovely attack, Uni. Pleasure to watch. Okay. Up next, got Faye coming in on number 12, Just a Gettin'. So it drops a hog looking for the lure, doesn't quite get the lure, so just kicks on with the attack regardless. So he drops his bowlers down with the healer, Slight variant on the Death Star attack, as we're calling it, as a bit more Valk heavy and lighter on the hogs, but that's still effective. So you've still got the jump spell, getting the Valks running in through the core of the base, while the Queen walks on one side and the bowlers walk on the other side. Super effective, particularly on these slightly more compact Town Hall 9 bases, where you can literally just run through the core with one or two jump spells. Those healers on the bowlers mean the bowlers are under no threat whatsoever, and there's loads of defenses shooting at them here. The Queen is struggling to maintain her health. She's so close to going down, but the healers are just keeping it in check. I say that just as she goes down, so that's just to prove me wrong. Unfortunately, the healers are getting mashed by that air defense, but the bowlers managed to break through just in time, and with that many bowlers and a wizard, the next thing you know, it's the triple. So lovely attack, Faye. Very nicely done. Okay, let's keep things moving. I've got Bazza coming in on what looks like a variation of the General, which is a very old internet base. So we've got a baby drag doing a lovely job. Just that one troop has cleared one side of the funnel, which is pretty cool. A little bit of a distraction for some of the troops there by the king, but no matter. There's all the Valks, all the important stuff has gone straight into the core. There's a few hogs on the right hand side just to take out some of those flanking defenses. That's a nice touch. Lovely heal spell to keep those alive. Very nicely done. There's the king and the queen in the core. That's always a good sign when you've got your heroes in the guts of the base, because they're just going to take so much of it out and you get such good value from them. Queen's still on full health. She hasn't had to use her ability yet. There's wizards and archers starting the cleanup. There's only a couple of defenses left. The Queen's got healers on her, so she's under no threat whatsoever, and she will shortly be swinging around to take out these couple of remaining defenses. And the next thing you know, the base is done. So there's a little bit of cleanup to do here, but there's no real risk. Bazza just pops her Queen's ability just to speed things up a little bit on the cleanup stakes. Got the king on full health. One last builder's hut. Boom. Nice hit by the barbarian king to get the triple. Lovely attack, Bazza. Okay. Andrew coming in on Batman with a big hole in his base, so that's slightly odd. So Andrew just tests to see what was in the CC. There's obviously air troops in the CC, so he comes in with the Laloon attack, a couple of raid spells, nicely placed. A few dragons in where the hole in the base is. That's a lovely touch. Just dumps them very close indeed to the air defenses and gets them into the heart of the base. There's tons of pups everywhere. He's got so much pups happening for cleanup. It's not funny. Nice combo with the Laloon and the dragons, which gives a little bit of tanking power to the attack. But he's got plenty of pups. There is that wizard tower that can normally be difficult for pups. However, that's one of the benefits of having a dragon. So you see here how quickly that wizard tower takes out all of the pups, and unluckily the dragon hits a air mine, but the queen is still up and she walks up and takes out the one remaining wizard tower. So very nice attack, Andrew. Nicely planned for the base. Okay. Back to back from Andrew this war. So we've got a hog coming in just to get the lure. Gets the CC over to the side of the base, which is a good choice. There's very little shooting his queen here, so she's not really under that much of a threat. And takes out the CC without too much ado. Gets a golem at the top with a few wizards, just building the funnel. Some wall breakers opened in to the base, making it look easy. Doesn't bother with a jump spell on the outside because a rage gets the job done. Has his jump for the second phase of the base, where he gets most of the way through the base. A heal spell on the bulk of his Valks just to heal them up while they're beating through that wall. The next thing you know, his Valkyries have run from one side of this base to the other. He's got his queen running on the outside, pretty much on cleanup duty because the Valks have been so efficient He's still got Valkyries running through, so his Valkyries have pretty much taken out every defense in this base, which is very impressive. He's got his king and his queen. The healers have got distracted healing a single Valkyrie, but they're now rejoining the party as well. So he's got tons and tons left to clear up what's needed. Interesting placement on that Tesla between the two storages, but it's not going to help here because he has way too much left and gets the triple. Superb attack. Okay. Got Thor coming in with a special for Thor. 2 jump, 2 heal, which is used to great effect by Thor. So we've seen this in a few raids and it works so well for him. So he gets CC lower, but he's got his queen in there, a couple of poison spells just to slow them down. The first jump spell gets into a fairly large chunk of the base. Nice reaction to place the heal spell there where the giant bombs were. Nice use of the jump spell, gets his Valks pushing through the bulk of the rest of the base. These low level walls are going to let his Valks run through and take out a lot of other buildings. His queen's in the core of the base as well. She doesn't quite get to the jump spell in time there, so she ends up walking around, but that's no matter. He's still got 2 golems up. His queen's popped her ability. She's taken out 2 of the 3 remaining defenses, and the next thing you know, it's just all over bar the shouting. So that's superb hit, and there's the triple. So yeah, just absolutely lovely. Those 2 jumps just make such a difference in getting the Valks through the base and gutting all the defenses. Okay, God's Gift comes in on this base with a big juicy center. Look at all the value if you can get your Valks into that core, and that's exactly what GG is thinking here. He goes, look at that, I'll have a piece of that action, thanks very much. Uses a couple of Valks just to form the funnel, gets the rest of his Valks in the core. He's got a heal spell for them, he's got a rage spell for them. Half a second later there isn't a core left in the base, and all the major defenses are down because they were all sat in that one section of the base. Not the most brilliant base design, but GG takes good advantage of it here by completely trashing it. So his queen is stepping up. She's going to come under quite a bit of fire from those Teslas and Archer Tower. She is just about goes down. In fact, she does go down to the mortar, but in doing so she's taken out all the defenses that were hidden from the troops that were running on the outside of the base, so that's quite nice. So GG's got just a few Valks and his king, but his king's still got his ability, so he's got plenty in the bag here. His Valks are getting a bit low on health, but by popping the king's ability, he dashes through. The real threat was the Archer Tower. That's the first thing that goes down, and this mortar isn't going to pose any threat at all to his king, and the next thing you know, it's the triple. So lovely attack. And big juicy center on that base. Okay, Faye coming in on number 18. 1 hog to get the lure. These guys seem to not be too worried about whether or not their CC's got lured, but as you can see, it makes it so easy to deal with the CC when you can lure it with a single hog, and particularly if you even leave a space for the opposing archqueen to just do a queen walk kill. So bowlers on one side, queen on the other side, Valks up through the core with a heal spell and a jump spell, and a second heal spell. Oh no, it's all heals, sorry, I do apologise, I thought there was a jump, but I think with these low level walls, Faye's just decided to let his Valks beat their way through the walls, and why wouldn't you? Because as you can see, these walls are not posing that much of a threat, and we're not posing any threat at all really. The healers have switched onto the Valkyries, which is just lovely. It's one of those things that happens in some raids, and when it happens you think, okay, we're pretty safe here. He's got a big bunch of Valkyries, they do so much damage, and they're being kept alive by 3 healers, so there's only one way that raid's going to go, and that's with 3 stars. A very nice attack. Okay, up next we've got Minor Major coming in with a Go-Va-Ho. So he's got a couple of hogs here to needs to take out. So that's lovely. Realised that 1 hog was not going to be enough to take out the Archer Tower, and he needed to take out the Archer Tower to get lure, so he drops 2. It's all about using enough troops to get the job done that you need, and Major does it very nicely here with a couple of hogs to get that initial lure. Opens up a nice path for his Valkyries after he's dealt with most of the CC. Early jump spell just to help them get through this initial part of the base. He's got his king and queen and a bunch of bowlers. His Valks are just tearing through this base. He brought a rage for them. That's always fun to watch Valks under rage. Nice heal spell placement there for his Valks and wizards. They're going to tear through yet another compartment. So his Valks have pretty much gutted 3/4 of this base. There's only a couple of compartments that have any defences left. He's got all of his bowlers. He's got his king and his queen. They've still got their abilities left. Does lose a couple of bowlers there to a spring trap and a Valkyrie as well. So some nice placement on the spring traps, but it's not going to save this base. Just totally crushed at the end there. Still has his queen's ability in his pocket. Very nice. Just showing that Hercules had an Achilles heel, I suppose. Heather being given a lesson by Jib. So he goes the Earthquakes this time, just to open up, gets a nice extra compartment opened up with the Earthquake as well. So he's opened up a nice chunk of the base. He's used Wall Breakers to open up yet another compartment of the base. He's got access to 3/4 of the base now. His Queen is in there helping with a bunch of wizards to deal with the CC. He's delayed. Look at the patience he showed on his Valkyries, holding off deploying his Valkyries until after he dealt with the CC. That's just beautiful. It means his Valks are under no threat at all from a stray Dragon Breath or things that float. Balloons, that's what they're called. They're called balloons. Or balloons. And since balloons got an upgrade to level 7, they're actually really nasty. They almost do enough damage to kill a level 4 Valk in one drop. So you do have to be careful of loons in CCs these days. Maybe we should update the Town Hall video. But lovely attack, Jib. Nice patience shown on your Valks. Okay, Smush coming in on a drop down attack on a Town Hall 8, and she's doing it with Go Wipe. Go Wipe has a bad rep in the war community, but you got to remember where it came from. It came from being a powerful attack at Town Hall 8 and being a good 3-star attack at Town Hall 8. And then the war community moved up to Town Hall 9 and Town Hall 10 and then realised that Go Wipe didn't work at those levels, and that's where it's got a bad rep. But at Town Hall 8, it's still very effective, as Smush shows in this attack. Very nicely done. That was a bit of a Town Hall 9 bully attack, but it still works at Town Hall 8 too. Okay, this is Geek on a dip down attack. We'll skip through this. We've all seen this kind. Oh no, he's coming in with the Valks. That's because he'd pre-cooked thinking he might be hitting a Town Hall 9 and decided that he'd just hit a Town Hall 8 with it anyway. So here we go, a bowler walk on Town Hall 8s. Does it work? Yeah. Got Valks in through the core, jumps, heal. This is a Death Star style attack, and it's super effective against a Town Hall 8. Didn't use 2 of the spells. Whoops. Sorry, mouse. Okay, Mini Murray coming in on number 23 with Single Zapquake. Got a rage spell up his sleeve. Nice placement on the rage there. Gets the loons straight onto one of the air defences. The dragons take out the other. Nice value from his loons, pushing through that base a little bit more. He's dropped his king to distract that archer tower. That's always a nice touch. Just saves his dragons a little bit of damage. But he's got so many dragons left over, it's not going to make any difference. It's all over but the shouting already. There's just a few buildings to go down and no trouble at all. Gets the triple. Made it look easy. Okay. Geek on another dip attack. We'll fast forward this one. This time it's the double Zapquake, because this was a planned dip attack and we know how Geek does these. Drops the Hound in on the one remaining air defense, spreads the loons around just to take out all the archer towers and air targeting defenses, which means it's pretty much got all of the dragons left over, and it's a complete disaster for Ares. Okay, a few more, quite a few Town Hall 8s this war. So this is Smush coming in again, double line of 2 golems, a bunch of bowlers in the CC, which is always nice. This is a bit of a bully attack, Town Hall 9 on Town Hall 8, and with all those troops in the core, it's just complete overpowered them. It's she's still got both peggers up. It's yeah, just completely crushed it. Nice attack. Okay, Mini Murray, more Town Hall 8 on Town Hall 8 action. Again, doing it with the dragons. So we've got a Zapquake with a slight pause there that I suspect was so the earth lightning spells would do a little bit of damage on the king. Loons, slightly slow on the loons if I had to be critical, but that's just me nitpicking. Still gets the job done very nicely, gets the loons straight onto the air defense, and look at the value we got with those balloons in the end by taking out all those air targeting defenses. So lovely attack. Mini Murray making it look easy twice in a row. Okay, a few more, nearly there. Okay, we've got Raj coming in with a mass hogs. So Raj has taken look at where the CC is. Okay, so Raj is going to deal with the Archer Tower, sorry, the CC troops. Lovely choice of bringing one dragon to deal with the two heroes. That was lovely. Realised that there's pretty much no spots for giant bombs inside this base, so it just brings a shed load of hogs and a few wizards on the cleanup. He's still got his dragon up because his hogs have taken out all the air defences, and it's just a question of watching them run around Benny Hill style whilst they get the cleanup. So very nice attack, Raj. Nicely planned for the base. And I recall now they had a couple of low level bases that didn't really have a lot of defense. Oddly, given that these are kind of Town Hall 5 and below bases, they didn't use these bases to scout, which I thought was a bit weird. So they just didn't use these attacks at all in war. So I know they were just there to make up the numbers, but you can at least chuck some hogs in the CC and maybe see what's in a town hall that are higher up in the war. It's not a bad way of getting a little bit of intel and helping your higher level attacks, but not what these guys were doing. Yeah, this is kind of not quite sure. It's kind of engineering light, I suppose. Did have a troll Tesla, I think. Yeah, a couple of Teslas trying to trip people up if they were going light on the attack, but Bratwurst is okay with the idea of taking out this building at a time and just comes in with plenty of troops. Doesn't need too many. Got max loons, which are just absolutely devastating, and gets the triple without breaking a sweat. And last we've got DA coming in on yet another one of these bases. So DA had cooked. He'd saw that his opponent was a Town Hall 8 and Town Hall 7, and had cooked a full dragon army on the assumption that it was a Town Hall 7, and then when it went into the base realised that it had no defences. So that was a bit of that's why we've got dragons on this attack. So whoops, but gets the job done. So there you go, guys. Another good war, good result. Hopefully we'll get a closer matchup than Vengeance, but props